Finally, after months and months of where is Skar King, where is Skar King, where is Skar King, a year and a half after the release in theaters of the new Empire, Hiya Toys has put up their solicitation for their exquisite basic Skar King figure. This is the first time we're seeing him in painted form, and I gotta say, he looks really promising. Now, first and foremost, he does include the whip slash. He didn't have this at San Diego Comic-Con, and when I asked them in person about it, they said, well, it's a work in progress. Maybe we'll add a weapon of some sort. But here it is, and thank goodness gracious. Oh my gosh. When I posted the interview, I basically saw the reaction was like, okay, well, if they don't have the whip slash, I'm just going to wait for the version with the whip slash. So they've managed to get it in here, and thank goodness. Oh. So here is Skar King on the backdrop of his lair, and he looks great, right? He's looking much more like his movie counterpart than the SH Monster Arts does, for better or worse. Here you see the whip slash wrapped around his body, open splayed hands, roaring head. Here we go. So as confirmed in the posting, the whip slash is going to be made out of a flexible bendy wire material, and then the actual crystal at the tip is going to be translucent, as you can see here. There's a really nice wash applied to the whip slash in these photos. This was something that I think the Monster Arts figure could have benefited from. I did like the whip slash on the Monster Arts figure, but it was just sort of beige plastic with a very subtle amount of detail. This here looks much nicer, in my opinion. Now here, we can see, if you're familiar with the articulation scheme of Kong, Skar King appears to do exactly the same thing. So he's got these floating pieces in the shoulder. He's got what I'm assuming is going to be shoulders that connect in on ball joints, ball joint between the bicep and the shoulder, double hinged elbows. We've got it's like an extra ball joint in the wrist to add even a little bit more flexibility. Upper thigh cut, double knees, and then ankles. Now, hopefully the ankles on Skar King are a little bit more flexible than Kong, but we'll just have to wait and see. Here you see him on all fours. He's got a pair of hands to put him on all fours. Here we go. More of a hunched pose with a neutral face. Now, to Harold's point, we've discussed this on the live stream. I do think that the neutral face for Skar King needs to be meaner. I don't think he ever looks neutral and this relaxed. So if they could do something to maybe, like, you know, furrow his eyebrows or, like, you know, snarl a little bit, like, I think that would amplify, I think, the expressiveness of this face sculpt. He's got the roaring head and then the laughing, smirking head over here. So 6 inches tall. This puts him right under Kong. He's just a hair shorter, which is what it should be. That's how he is in the movies. Assuming that this is completely accurate. The prototype that I saw at San Diego Comic-Con did look about right next to the Kong, although they were a little bit displaced from each other. So hopefully the 6-inch mark is accurate and he comes in just a hair under Kong. 4 pairs of interchangeable hands. So you've got gripping hands, walking on all fours, fists, and then the open, more splayed hands. And if Skar King here is 6 inches, it looks as though this whip slash will be closer 10 to 12 inches, if I had to guess, which is good because it needs to be long enough to wrap around his body. So all of that breakdown of the accessories is right here in the description. We could see SRP $51 US or $60 for the US tariff price included. Release time 2026 Q3. This is a pleasant surprise, considering Behemoth came in as a Q4 release. But they later edited it to say Q3, so, you know, take that for what you believe it to mean. They have a link to a website, or to a page on their website, where the page is not found, so this is not live just yet. But Q3 2026, we will see if they end up making that deadline actually. And it does seem that folks are happy about this. Made the Monster Arts look like a $25 figure. Q3 of 2026, bro, that's closer to the next movie. I'm buying 2 or 3 of them. I think I'm gonna cry. All this good stuff. So it does look like people are pretty excited about this. And yeah, I think that they have reason to be excited. I think he looks great. Interestingly, Skar King here is spelt with a C, when in all the American merchandising, Skar King was spelled with a K. So I'm not sure if that's an error or if that's a rebrand of some sort. I doubt it's a rebrand of some sort. So yeah, I mean, Skar King, I think he looks fantastic. It's a shame that he's going to be coming out like well over a year after Shimo. Hopefully the appetite is still there for Skar King. I'm surprised we haven't gotten a Mothra repaint from the new Empire before Skar King, but here we go. So there is the Hiya Toys Exquisite Basic Skar King. Let me know what you guys think. I'm pretty stoked for this. I'm nice. It's gonna be nice to have a movie accurate Skar King that scales appropriately with the Kong figure. That was like my biggest issue with the monster arts, even though I did like the stylization of the monster arts to a certain extent. I'm happy to get an accurate one. So let me know what you guys think, and happy Friday. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. I'll talk to you guys again soon. Bye.